Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Talk with the Titans, live from London, UK, all the way to the US of A and worldwide. I'm your host, Kalam, and this is Talk with the Titans. On tonight's show, we've got the wonderful, the beautiful, the amazing Nasi Yashuvel's queens in the building. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a beautiful discourse. We're going to be talking about polygamy. Polygamy versus monogamy. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Are you mature enough to have this discussion? Are you mature enough to have this conversation about polygamy? We'll soon see. So let me introduce the two sisters that we have right now. We have the sister Ro. Ro, shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
All right, and we also have a Tara. Shalom, sis.
Shalom.
Shalom. Wow. Is everybody excited as I'm excited? Because you know what? We don't usually have these types of conversation, these real down-to-earth conversation, these nitty-gritty conversations. Usually we're off into the air, philosophical talks, but this is real life. This is what's going on. This is polygamy in the USA, and hopefully we can even get some more talks about it happening in the UK or in Africa or in the Caribbean, wherever you are. Please share your comments. I want to know, have you actually been in a polygamous relationship, and how was it for you? Or if you're completely against the idea of polygamy and you believe that, you know, a man is made for a woman and that is it. There's nobody else that should be added to the relationship. Okay? So please leave your comments down below because we would love to hear what you have to say. So now, sis, or should I say sisters, all right? You both are the wives of, one of the most phenomenal, the most articulate, strong men in the Hebrew community. My brother Nasi Yashuvel. This is one of my most beloved brothers in the whole community in America. Stop him. That's my number one. With Divine Prospects. I have to big up those two brothers because I love them to my heart. They're my heart right there. So you know what? Let me talk about this now. Let me actually talk about this. How did you meet Nasi Yashuvel? That's what I want to know. I'm gonna pass that on to my sister Ro, and then go on to Tara. How did you meet Nasi?
We grew up our parents grew up in the same community as Hebrew Israelites, so I knew him. But we both moved away from New York. I moved away quite earlier than he did, and then later on we met back up when we were about 16 and 17.
Okay, and you too, Tara. How did you meet Nasi?
Again, same with Roe. We've known each other since we were young children in this way of life. We actually went to the same Israelite school, same elementary school for about 2-3 years. And both of our fathers were very close friends in this way of life, and so we met.
Okay, so this is like a childhood romance, childhood getting to know each other. Listen, if you're out there and you're tuning in right now, please let everybody know that we're live right now. We're sorry for the hiccups. We had a few technical issues, but we're live right now. So share this link. If you're here right now, please just go down to the bottom of YouTube. You see that there's a share button. Hit the share button. Facebook, you've got Twitter, you've got Pinterest, you've got Tumblr, you've got Google+. Literally share it, let everybody know that we've got two sisters living in a polygamous relationship, ready to open up the doors of their family, of their relationship, of the inner workings of their household. So please hit that share button and let everybody know that we're live right now, okay? Because we're about to get saucy, we're about to get juicy, and I ain't starting that until everybody comes in. So, we've also got some guests, panel members, and if you want to be a panel member and you want to have your say, please type your name down in the YouTube link, and then I will later on in the show forward you a link to join the conversation. So, we've got Tina Red. Shalom, sis.
Shalom, my bad. I was on mute, but shalom, everyone.
I see you, sis. I see you. So we've got her here. We're going to get into this when we have a big discussion later on in the second half of the show. We've also got Isa. Isa, salamu alaikum, my brother. We've got Isa here. We've also got Courtney Rich here as well, one of our sisters as well. So peace to you, sis. And then we've also got Shesmu Patar as well. So we're going to have a big discussion later on where everybody can have their say and ask these sisters some questions. So let's get it started right now. Let's get it started. I want to know who is, the prime wife? Who was the first wife in the family relationship?
I am Rofaynuyah, or Ro. Most people know me that. I was the first wife.
She's trying to. Something's wrong with the screen. The screen kind of disappeared, so we're trying to get it back up.
Okay.
But I don't know if you guys can still see and hear us.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. We can see you. So Ro was the first wife. So how long have you been married with Nasi himself?
We've been married almost 20 years. March would be 20 years.
20 years. Wow, that is a long, long time. Most of us, we can't even keep a relationship for longer than 2 months, let alone 2 years or even 20 whole years. That's 2 decades. That is absolutely incredible. So I'm definitely all ears to hear what you have to say, because we can learn a lot of things. And as well, so to my sister Atara, how long have you been in a relationship? Oh, sorry, how long have you been married to Nasi?
I've been married to Nasi for 4 years this May.
4 years. Wow. Okay. So, you know what? I have to ask, Ro. I have to ask. When Nasi proposed that, I don't know how it went, so you have to tell me. You have to give us the picture of it. When Nasi introduced you to to Atara and saying, you know what, I want to get married to her, what was running through your head? Or could you enlighten us, to how the process came about?
Well, like Atara was saying earlier, she wasn't, her and Nasi had lost contact with each other. And about 6 years ago, maybe, they had, he was doing a power talk, and they reconnected, and he informed her he was married and everything. I don't know these years. I think I could blend together, but and he informed her he was married, and then he gave us each our contact information, and that's when we started to correspond with each other. And then as they built a relationship, we also built on our relationship. And then we decided that she would be a good fit for our family, and then we worked towards building a family together.
Okay. So, when you finally reconnected with Nasi and he told you that he was married, had a wife, had children, had a family already, how did that make you feel? Were you okay with it? Were you a bit, I don't know, how were you feeling when you realized this man actually had a wife and family?
Was that for me?
Yeah.
I was actually excited. I came from a big family. My father, he himself had 4 wives at one time, and together 16 or 17 children were produced from those relationships. So I came from a large family, so I was actually excited about joining a family with Ro and her bunch. So I was actually excited about it.
Wow, that is actually wonderful. That's beautiful right there. So you're saying that you're coming from, are you both coming a Hebrew Israelite family that's already had a polygamous relationship, where your mothers and fathers in polygamous relationships before, so it was easy, this was what you was familiar with?
Well, both of us, yes, we did come from our parents having a polygynous relationship. My father had 2 wives and had nine children out of those 2 wives. So we both did come, but I don't know if that, for me, I don't know. I understood it and I seen the benefit of it, but originally I didn't think I was going to be in polygyny, but I learned. I think it was more of the person than the actual thought of polygyny that made me accept it.
Okay, wow. So, you know what? How did the arrangements come about? So, for couples who are thinking about, having a polygynous relationship, having another wife join in with the family, how did the first contact take place? How was the conversation about another wife coming in? How did that all come about? Could you give us some depth into that?
Like I said, they have, after them reconnecting, Nasi's always been a person that let a person know, even if he was to meet them or anything, he would always inform them that he is married. That's first. Not build a relationship and then say, oh yeah, and I'm married. So he informed her that he was married, and then he also he gave us each other's contact information so that we can build and form a relationship before it was ever. But we could also have a sense of each other before we decided on if this was something that we wanted.
Okay. So you know what, everybody who's listening right now, if you're enjoying what you're hearing so far, you haven't actually subscribed, you're just viewing for the very first time, you know what, Talk with the Titans, we have these types of conversations, pretty often. We have discussions, we have debates, we have presentations. Last week we had evolution versus creation. Prior to that, we had the Umar Johnson scandal. Prior to that, we have African ancestral worships being spoken about. So if you haven't already, please just hit the subscribe button that's just up there or just down below here somewhere and subscribe. Join in with the discussion and have your say as well. Okay, so you know what? Nasi being a man of honor, okay, reconnected with an old childhood friend that he wanted to further, have further dialogues and have a further relationship with. And the first thing he did was actually let the woman know that he is ready in a relationship. He has a wife, he has children, he has a family, and he actually spoke to his first wife and told her that he's met somebody who might be fitting for the family, and those two shared details. They shared the details with the second wife, which is Atara, and them two came together to see if it will be a perfect fit, a right match, and lo and behold, it was a right match. So after we established that it was a right match, how did the actual marriage and moving in come about? How did it take place?
Well, we built a bond prior to me moving down to Georgia. I lived in New York for at least a year before I actually moved down. So we courted for about a year and a half, getting to know each other more, having been separated from each other for so long. Myself and Ro, we built a relationship, talking to each other almost every single day, getting to know each other. I would visit sometimes. Every so often I would come down and visit. And I just took a leap of faith and moved down after courting for about a year and a half. After we moved down, then we scheduled planned our marriage ceremony, and it's been on since then.
So is it fair to say, is it safe enough to say that when you're entering into a polygamous relationship, it's not necessarily just about the man and the other woman, the man and the woman. It's more about the interconnectedness of everybody involved. The two sister wives need to have that sisterly connection, need to have that love between each other, as well as having, the love of the man as well. I hope I'm saying that correctly when I mean sisterly love. I don't mean anything else, but that sisterly love. We also need to have that love as well, because we're going to go there as well, because I know a lot of people, their minds are going to be running of how things actually run. So we're going to go into those types of talks a little bit later on. But for now, is it safe to say that you first need to have that, that sisterly connection with the sister wife as well?
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
I actually believe that is first and foremost. Because the women are the ones that are in the household, that build the household, that set the standards and build the foundation of the household. So without our bonding, without our connection with each other, there will be no household at all. Even when he's not home, or even when he's away, we have to come together and prepare lessons, food, get the house in order. And if we're at odds with each other, then that trickles down to the children, that trickles down to the husband, forces him to have to choose which one he's going to side with, or it's just going to be chaos in the house if we're not together, or if the wives are not in tune with each other.
Indeed. So I want to know, audience members, could you be in a polygynous relationship? As a woman, could you, could you share your man with another woman? Or would you be too jealous to share your man with another woman? Or would you want to be a woman that could enter into a polyandry relationship, where you can have more than one husband? I want to know. Please let me know your thoughts on it. Leave your comments down below. Could you enter in a polygynous relationship? Yes or no? And if it's yes, why could you? And if it's no, why not? Okay? So, entering into this polygynous relationship, I want to know, what has been the biggest challenges that's actually been faced? What have you encountered? First, starting with Ro, the first wife. What was one of the major challenges that?
The biggest challenges. I think the biggest challenge for me was just trying to organize time and manage planning everything. We're a family that all work, so schedules, then schedule the children and activities. We have children that play sports, children that play in band. It's going. Although I do have 8 children, it's going from 8 to 16. So it's sometimes difficult.
You added 2 more children?
You having another set of twins? No, you're
It's 14 children, guys, not 16. She's added 2 more. I don't know where these other children coming from.
That's why I thought it was 14 children. But you know what?
14. We're expecting the twins, guys. Congratulations.
Is this a prophecy? Is this a prophecy? Is there something that you're not telling us? I know twins run in the family. I know I've seen you.
They don't, but
this is her second set.
But speaking on challenges, the biggest challenge for me was my children, because I came into this marriage with 4 children that are not biologically Nazis. So it was kind of difficult for me to explain to them that we're moving down south, we're going to move into another family, someone else's home, where there's other children, and I married a man that's not their father. So it was kind of a challenge for me to explain to them, but they fit right in because most of our children share birthdays, they share ages, and they've actually seen other polygynous families in New York. They've seen their grandfather, they've seen their brother, their uncles. So it wasn't that much of a difference or transition for them, but just the aspect of actually living in it was a little bit difficult for them. So that was my biggest challenge. Other than that, everything else ran pretty smooth.
Okay. And how does it compare?
Excuse me?
how does it compare being in a polygamous relationship versus a monogamous relationship? What are the differences? What are the actual differences within that?
Well, being in a monogamous relationship is kind of actually sort of like I said everything and that's that. What I say go. But being in a polygamous relationship with another wife or mother involved, we have to come together and agree on most terms. Sometimes Ro will sit back and say, whatever you say. Sometimes I'll sit back and say whatever you say. But before we make that final decision, we still have to come together and say, well, hey, Nasi, is this how you want it? Or Ro, is this how you want it? Is this how you want it? We usually come together and make an agreement before we make any type of decision making in the house for anything.
For me, it was in a monogamous relationship, like you said, everything is on one person, or we have like a lot of gender roles. And in a polygynous relationship, I don't have to cook every day no more, guys. I don't have to wash clothes all the time. Everybody has a chance and opportunity to do it. We have the children in hand, so it makes it easier on us because we're able to share responsibilities and we have a bond. Like she was saying, a lot of our children, like our first two children, her daughter and my son, actually share the same birthday.
And they're the same age.
Same age, same birthday. Our second two children are the same age, and their birthdays are about a week apart. We have two other children. Her son and my son also share the same age. They're same age. They're about a week or two apart. So it was easy for them to build bonds with each other and have that camaraderie. So that was great for me. And like she said, we both came from large families. So I've always wanted a large family. She's always wanted a large family. Our children have each other. They're straight. So, I mean, that was a great part of building it in this relationship.
Okay. So I want to know as well. What are the perks of being in a polygamous relationship? Apart from there being less cooking, less cleaning, what are the perks of being in a polygamous relationship?
I have a sister, a friend, someone I can talk to. As married women, we don't want to go out and tell people all our business. I can go and sit and talk to her about my husband, ish in Hebrew, whether good, bad, or indifferent. We can talk about it, and I don't have to worry about it being spread or it being thrown back in my face or being misrepresented about him or me. So that to me was important and beneficial.
I would have to say the same because you gained a friend that are almost in a similar situation that you're in, so you get to talk to someone about anything and not having to feel any type of way of betrayal. Because it's my sister, so I'm trying to think of anything else, like you said, besides having to not cook every day and not have all the burden on yourself. We're two totally different people. So her strengths are my weaknesses, and my weaknesses are her strengths. So we balance each other out.
Wow. So in terms of economics wise, is it, that's a big house, loads of mouths to feed. Is it easier in terms of, everybody's working, everybody's, looking after the children, everybody's doing somebody's hair, making clothes? Like, is it just economically viable also?
I didn't hear the question.
Sorry, is it economically viable? Is it, Is it very efficient in terms of monies having to be spent, sharing a house with each other, sharing the duties with each other, sharing the shopping with each other? You know, is it actually cheaper that way?
Yes, I would say so. Because although we all work, we all we share in the responsibility of the bills and the groceries. It's easier to make one large dish than two households full of large dishes. And we eat together. We, like you said, we do all of that stuff together. So it helps that we all live together. We have started several endeavors that we're trying to get off the ground, and that'll establish us even further. We're getting more. We have a project going on. We have several books out. The Queen's Sacrifice is one. Parashat Noah and Ancient Science of Love. My sister has started a vegan cheesecake company. What is it?
It's Heavenly Sweet.
Heavenly Sweets. Oh my gosh.
No, I've got a sweet tooth. I've got a sweet tooth.
And it's all vegan cheesecake, and so it helps that we're all there together to help and nurture each other's ideas and businesses and everything that we do.
That's great. Okay. You know what? So please, audience members out there, if you're loving the information that you're hearing so far, give us a big thumbs up. Let us know that you're appreciating these sisters, these beautiful sisters, intelligent sisters. Very. This is actually amazing because I've never really had the opportunity to sit down and speak with a polygynous family. So this is really insightful, and I'm sure a lot of people who's watching right now is being informed that it's changing their views and attitudes towards polygyny. So I actually want to know, on that note, I want to know what is the outside world saying when they see you as a family together, you know, 2 wives and 1 husband? What types of looks do you get? What types of comments do you get from people?
Well, it's kind of both negative and positive. Some people look at us like, you can share your man, I can't share my man. How do you do it? And, oh my God, how much is the food bill? And do you guys sleep in the same bed? And oh wow, that's so beautiful. You guys are best friends, and that's sweet and that's righteous, and I can't believe it. It can't be me. I mean, it's just so many comments that we get from so many different people. Some people scorn and look and like, oh my God, that's so gross, and it's abomination, and God doesn't like it, and He speaks about Adam and Eve, not Adam and Eve, and Tamar, Rebecca, and Leah. So a lot of people, we get a lot of negative comments, and on the other hand, we get a lot of positive feedback. A lot of people think that polygyny is banned in the Bible, but it never once mentioned in the Bible that polygyny is banned. So a lot of people don't really understand, because in the beginning, God created Adam and Eve. So people would think, well, He didn't create Adam with 2 or 3 wives, so it's automatically abolished, or it's abomination, or it's unlawful. So people don't understand.
Like she said, we get both sides. Since we've made several YouTube videos, we have two YouTube videos. Actually, it turns out to be 3 really good. One is a part 1, part 2. I get emails all the time about sisters who want advice, who want more information about it. How can they be? How can they make it work? How can they do it? It's something that is growing, and people want more understanding about it. But like you said, we do get the negative aspects. But normally, if people know us as people, they're like, I was so against it, but y'all two, y'all do it. You know, y'all give me a different view of it. So it's it is like I said, it is. We do get negative, but normally people know me and Atara, they have a different view of it.
Indeed. Because I actually stumbled across, I think I stumbled across it. I know I was sitting down watching for a good couple hours. Nasi TV. If you haven't subscribed to Nasi Yashuvel's channel, Nasi TV, please go and subscribe there. That I first saw you sisters, I'm sure it's about a year and a bit, year and some change. I'm sure that Atara was still pregnant at the time with twins.
Yeah.
And I was just there, and I was just sitting down, just one video would finish, and I'll click the next video, and I'm just sitting there like, wow, amazing. I just click it away. I'm just watching all the videos. I'm telling you now, tying headscarves. I was sitting down watching you both tie headscarves. This is the way you tie it, and I was there. I shouldn't be saying this out live. I'm actually saying this live right now. Okay. Anyways, let's move swiftly on. So, in terms of, there's always a mother in the group. I want to know the different personalities. How would you describe? I don't want to know how you describe yourselves. I want to know, how do you describe each other? How would you describe one word to describe your sister wife? How would you describe her?
One word?
Does it have to be one word? Or?
You can have several words. I know you've got several words for her.
I would say Tara is the she's the most disciplined one in the group. If you want something done and you want to make sure it's done and organized and it's going to continue to be done every day, she's the one to do it. She's very spiritual. A big crybaby too.
I am. I could be a crybaby at times, but Ro is my balance, because I'm one track mind. I want to get things done, and it has to be done the way I want it done. And at times when I can't focus and I can't get it right, get frustrated, and I may bump heads with things or other people, Ro is there to calm me down and relax me and say, you know what, Atara, it's gonna be okay. It is what it is. Let go and let God. And she calms me down. She's the person, like, she doesn't let anything bother her. She's the rock of the family.
Oh, hey, listen, sister love right there. Okay, we're getting real sentimental. I want to know, what advice would you give to a couple that is thinking about entering into a religious relationship? What advice would you give them? What advice would you give them?
Make sure you know that's what you want, because bringing in another personality into the relationship is a task, because you have to get to know that person. And if you're doing it just for the sake of the man, not for yourself, then it's not going to work. If you're doing it because the masses are doing it and it's popular, everyone's doing it, and I want to do it too, I want to try it out. No, it's not like it's a pair of shoes or a new candy. It's something that is gonna affect your life for the rest of your life. So you have to make sure this is something that you want, because polygyny is not for everyone. It's definitely not for everyone. At times it can be difficult because there are multiple personalities involved, and if you're not mentally strong to accept the fact that your husband loves someone else, then you're gonna be broken. You're gonna be broken. You're gonna ask yourself, why me? And am I not good enough? And am I not pretty enough? And if you have low self-esteem, polygyny is not for you at all. polygyny is not for you. You definitely have to come in with the mindset of nation building and understanding that in the beginning of time that men were polygynous. Our forefathers in the Old Testament, Lamech, he had 2 wives. Most of the prominent men in the Bible, Father Abraham, David, have multiple wives. And it's not from the sense of I have 2 wives or I want 2 wives because I want to. Most of the time in the Bible it speaks on the aspect of polygyny is because the first wife or the second wife, one of the wives may not have children or can't have children. How can that man carry on his name? So if we don't understand it from that point or from that aspect, then we're lost. Also, a lot of women back in those days, back in ancient times, were not allowed to work, was not allowed to take care of themselves or be independent. They had to fall under the rule of a man. And women nowadays, and even back then, it's more women on the earth than men. So eventually, it's gonna be 2 or 3 women to 1 man, or more than 1 woman to a man. So it's a natural thing. Although it's not a command for a man to practice polygyny, it's culture.
So I would like to know, what do you say to the women who couldn't think about sharing their man with another woman? They would say, I don't want to be no side chick. We have this talk these days. I don't want to be a side chick. I can't be a side chick. My man can't have a side chick. What do you say to these people that have that type of mentality, that talk like this? What would you say to them?
First of all, we're not side chicks, neither one of us. I think a side chick, well, we all know a side chick is something that is secretive and it's done in an unrighteous manner. Like we said, in our relationship, there's not that secret, well, she doesn't know me or I don't know her or he's doing this in secret. One thing I wanted to add to what she was saying, advice I would give to somebody, communication. Communication is very important in a polygynous relationship. Although it's important in monogamous, it's even more important in polygyny because it's different personalities. So everything has to be talked and discussed because you have to make it mesh together. Because there can be polygynous relationships that's not meshed together, but I'm pretty sure that's not what anybody would want. And side chick, no, we're not side chicks.
That's I just want to quickly interrupt you real quickly. You see, it takes a certain amount of maturity to even enter such a relationship, even to have a 1 woman, 1 wife, monogamous relationship, to have a wife, not even just as a girlfriend or somebody who you're seeing or whatever the case may be, but someone who's elevated to that position of wifehood. It takes a certain man, a certain character, an individual with values, with morals, with ethics, to even hold a relationship, let alone go into a second relationship. So I would like to know, in choosing your mate, a partner, I'm pretty much sure that that person can't be, immature to have, a player mentality. They have to be a very upstanding individual. So please, I want to just share with me the characteristics of your husband and why was it so, easy to actually join in and become a polygamous family.
Go ahead. Because Nasi is very forward in a positive way, not a negative way. He lets you know exactly who he's talking to, who he likes, what he's doing. He doesn't hide anything from us. Majority of the things that he's doing with himself, he let us know. So like Rofaynuyah said, communication between us three really helped us. Really helped this relationship mesh together because nothing was hid, no lies. Everything was brought out to the table. Um, this is who I like, Roe, and this is who I'm talking to, and she was fine with it. It's not like we built a relationship behind her back and she found out later, because that's one of the things that make a lot of women turned off to polygyny, is because the men developed a relationship prior to the first wife knowing about it. So it was easy because Nasi let it know before we actually started to build a relationship between us. And his character is very loving. He's very loving. Nasi is always loving. He's very caring and likes to do things for his wives and make us feel good. So that was real easy for me to accept.
Also, we have to understand that we don't own any human beings. Most High, Creator, however you want to, whatever name you want to give him, the Supreme Intellect, he gives us people, he puts people in our lives for a certain purpose. And if you're going to be selfish enough to say that you own it and it's yours, it can be taken away from you. I think that in sharing, it helps to build a balance. Nasi is that person, and I think a man has to be understanding that women are emotional, and he has to my father was polygynous, and he used to always say, when it's twice as good, when it's good, it's twice as good, but when it's bad, it's twice as bad. So he has to understand there's always both sides to the coin. So it is a job for a man. It's not just, oh, I got this many women and I just do what I want. It's a lot. It's a lot of work for them as well. It's because he has to, like she said, cater to the woman, because we are emotional creatures. So it has to work both ways.
Before you ask another question, Kalam, Rofaynuyah mentioned before about the book. I don't know if everybody can see. We put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in this book. The Queen's Sacrifice. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on createspace.com/5573916. That's createspace.com/5573916. This book is not about polygyny. Although we do touch on it, very, very small, few sentences in this book, but it's about the many struggles that Black women go through in life, the things we do, why we do it, and what we go through in life. So pick up your copy today. It's available on Amazon. It's available again on CreateSpace, Kindle. I'm trying to also get it in local bookstores like Barnes and Nobles. So go ahead and support the cause, everyone. Get your copy today. It's available, and you'll love it. It's a great read, about 150-something pages, very fast read, easy read. You'll love it. You'll definitely love it. If you like the ancient science of love, you're gonna love this one because it has more of a feminine touch. Because I worked very hard on this book. Me and my sister, we worked very hard on this book. So I want you guys to go on and purchase your copy today.
I shall be leaving a link in the description box after the show is finished where you can go and purchase your copy of The Queen's Sacrifice. And I know you and the husband are prolific writers. You've written several books, actually. Could you just give a rundown of the books and just a quick overview of what they have inside?
As mentioned before, Rofaynuyah mentioned the 3 books. The Parshat Noah, that's basically breaking down the story of Noah. Also, breaking down the metaphysical and the science behind the altar, the creation of the ark, why the story, because there's many flood stories, But this flood story is it's different, and those stories branch off of this story. So Nasi breaks down the story of Noah and his family and the flood. Ancient Science of Love, it's about relationships and how to, and the do's and don'ts in a relationship. We have, yeah, basically a handbook on love. We do touch on polygyny, but it's only one chapter in the book, so it's not a complete book about polygyny, because we're not trying to throw polygyny on everyone, because like I said, it's not for everyone. But we do touch on it because we do practice polygyny. So it's about love, it's about relationships. We do touch on health because we have to be able to keep ourselves up. As far as health-wise, eating-wise, drink a lot of water, herbs, stuff like that. And again, the Queen's Sacrifice is about the many struggles of the black woman and understanding the black woman and what we go through in life, and the many things that we go through for our family and for our children and for our mates. So that's it. We're actually going to launch a few more projects. Actually working on a parenting book, which is much needed because 2015 children is not like the 1980 children and 1990 children. These children nowadays are they're animals. So I mean, the disrespect level of these children is through the roof. So I want to start on that project really soon.
And we're also working on a children's novel.
Yes.
That'll be for the children. It's a little sci-fi-ish. I don't know how to describe it, but it's a project we had.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, sci-fi. But it's for children. We started it years ago, but we're finishing it. So that should be out shortly too.
So we've got so much to look out for from the Nasi Yashuvel family. This is going to be very exciting for the upcoming year. All the projects that are coming out, and please stay in tune. Hit up the Talk with the Titans Facebook group, and you could actually message Nasi Yashuvel as well as Rofaynuyah, as well as Atara on there, and check out Hebrew War Machine as well. Please. All right. You know what? I'm about to get real saucy before I actually open it up for the audience members to actually have their say. Let's see how we're doing for time. Okay, we've got a little bit of time left, so that's awesome. All right. You know what? I can't not ask this question. I need to actually ask this question because it's on everybody's mind. You know what? How does sexual encounter happen? Is there one bedroom that's being shared between everybody, or is there multiple bedrooms? Like, I don't know. People want to know this.
There are multiple bedrooms. Me and my sister, we share a room. And Nasi has his own man cave. We have different schedules. So I work at night. Rory works during the daytime. Nasi's a 12-hour shift kind of schedule. So we kind of make it work. We do have our days, whereas if she's on her monthly, then I have my time with him, and when I'm on my monthly, she has her time with him. And if we want to just spend time together, not sexually, to watch a movie or to go somewhere, then we do that together. But there are multiple bedrooms and multiple rooms. We've decided to share a room because that's where we bond. We bond. We bond with like sisters, and I think anything separate will allow negativity to seep in. I truly believe if we do a lot of things together, it'll eradicate all that other jealousy and negativity.
I like that. So you know what? And again, this is another question that I know is on the minds of everybody as well. If Nasi came home, actually, I want to know who actually wears the trousers and the boots in the family. Is it Tara or is it Nasi? Who is it?
Nasi does. Nasi does. But you know what? Nasi's a breed a totally different breed of a man. I say that because although he does have the last say so, he does give us the opportunity to speak our mind. It's not just I'm the man, I run the house, I'll wear the pants, and it's my way or the highway. He gives us the opportunity to speak our mind, and if he thinks it's feasible, then hey, you guys, you got it. You know, it's up to you guys. Although he does wear the pants, we wear knickerbockers at times.
So in terms of expanding the family, you've just had two beautiful, I love watching them. They're adorable girls.
They're crying right now. They want to come in, but
let them come in. In terms of expanding the family, would you think about I know there is 14 children already, but is there talks of expanding the family at all?
Expanding in what sense? More children?
More children. More children.
I want more. Rory doesn't want more.
My troops are tied, but I think I have been fruitful and multiplied. But I mean, all children are blessings, so.
I do. I want more. Like I said, I come from a large family, so I actually like being pregnant. I know it kind of sounds weird to most women out there. I like being pregnant. I feel good. My energy level is through the roof when I'm pregnant. Although, I mean,
good evening, everyone, and welcome to Talk with the Titan.
Kalam?
Apologies. I don't know what has just happened.
I think you were applauding me like being pregnant.
I told you she got two twins. She got a set of twins.
But I did tell my husband that I do want to have more. Not right now, but I'm gonna give the twins their shine for a little bit, and I do want to have more.
Okay. And if Nasi came home and said, I want to expand the family in terms of another wife, what would you say to him?
We would sit down and talk about it. That is something that he has discussed with us recently. It has to be, well, we did discuss it, and we told him that we are looking to, well, we're not looking to, we will accept it if it's done in the matter of the Most High, if it's done in the righteous way. Because Nasi's not getting any younger, and although women have a cap of in age of having children, men can always have children. Even if he's 70, 80, 90 years old, he can always impregnate a woman. On the other hand, a woman, when she gets of age, menopause, it's kind of difficult for her to have a baby. So we do understand that men do procreate longer than women, not procreate, but is able to impregnate longer than a woman. So that's something that we do understand, that he does have the ability to do that. It would have to be something that we all agree to, because if we don't agree to it, it won't. If all three of us won't agree to it, then it wouldn't be something that would be beneficial for the family. Because bringing in someone without us accepting it is just going to create chaos.
Mess up the dynamics of everything.
And what would you say that the fundamental value system in the family is right now? What do you say that you strive for that keeps the family together? What is that element?
Spirituality. We strive to be right before the Most High. Try to get our kids to disconnect from the heathen world, because going to school, sending our kids to school, public schooling, and bringing that negativity home, it kind of destroys the dynamics of spirituality. So we're trying to establish our own school. We're thinking about homeschooling our children so that we can be disconnected from the outside negativity. So we're trying to get our own school system again, because we did have our own school years ago, and that's where me and Nasi and I met. That crashed in, but we're trying to do that now. Get our own school and homeschool our children and keep it within a nation.
And we also have several land projects that we want to work on, and so that we can have our own community where our children are around people of like mind, like spirits, like so that it lessens their opportunity to be taken away by society's ideals. Those are the two things that are really, we're working hard on doing those two things.
Kalam, I'd like to say something.
Go ahead.
Before I leave the hangout. I just want to say how much I appreciate this particular type of forum. This is excellent information, and I want to commend you two sisters for sharing with us. And I would just say, except two agree, how can they walk together? Except how can two walk together unless they agree? And I appreciate you allowing us to see inside of your relationship and how you two get along. And I just want to commend you guys. And with that, I'll say peace.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Shazmir. Okay, you know what? We've actually reached near enough the penultimate finale of the show so far in terms of the interview. I want to know, what questions do you have? Okay, our audience member, viewing audience members out there, UK members who are watching in right now, who's Facebooking me, telling me how they're watching, they're intrigued by it. What questions do you have for these two sisters right here, right now? Please let me know. Leave it in the YouTube comments down below, or if you would like to join in the conversation, I'm about to post the link up on the Talk with the Titans Facebook group. So if you're watching right now, okay, I'm about to share my screen and you will be able to see me post up. All right, so I'm posting it right now on the Talk with the Titans Facebook group. Polygamy, join the discussion. So if you would like to join the discussion, I'm posting it right now onto Facebook. Okay, so join in the discussion and ask your questions. It's more about the interconnectedness of everybody involved. Someone who's joined, please have that sisterly connection, to have that love between you. Okay, I think it was I think it was one of your mics. Okay, so we're here. I'm actually going to jump quickly to the Facebook, to the YouTube right now, and get a question asked. It says here, Truth Hurts. One of the sisters earlier said she had children to another man already, then later said the Israelite man needed to carry on the seed when it was unsuccessful, which I agree in the case of John, Judah, etc. Can I get some edification on this if possible?
Well, in the Old Testament, it didn't specify that the man would take the children in the event of a separation. When Hagar and Abraham split, who did Ishmael go to? Ishmael went with Hagar. I don't know exactly what Bible, what book it speaks in, but it speaks about the woman given,
What, a proverb?
Yes.
It says, a man gives his strength
to another, right? That speaks on the woman having the child. It doesn't nowhere in the Tanakh it says that the man will get the children. So that's why I have my children.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to open up again. I see Courtney Rich has unmuted her mic. So Courtney, if you have any questions to ask or comments, to commend the sisters, please ask away.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I have a question. Actually,
So if I can just stop you, could you, your mic is cutting off. Could you speak a bit
I
louder?
was not always in agreement with polygamy. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
perfect.
Okay. I was not always in agreement with polygamy. It was actually the YouTube video that you, Ro and Atara did that changed my mind. I'm not a Hebrew. I didn't grow up a Hebrew, but when I watched the way that you guys interacted with each other, it made me think twice about it. I always saw polygamy as some kind of tyrannical thing where there was a husband and like multiple wives, and the first wife and the second wife might have been prized and the other wives weren't. So for someone like me who didn't grow up with that kind of background, whose family probably wouldn't approve of it if I was in a polygamous relationship, what advice would you give someone like me? And coupled with the fact that I do have children, like if I wanted to enter into that, what advice would you have to give to someone like me who wasn't really with that belief system?
I would. You want to answer? Go ahead. I would say. I mean, I don't know you, Courtney, so, don't take this personal. I would say let go of all insecurities that you may have, because we all have insecurities. But try to let go of all insecurities, because if you come in a relationship and a polygynous relationship with insecurities and low self-esteem, it kind of shuts you off from being open to the aspect of polygyny. Because you're always going to second guess yourself or question him, why? Don't you love me? Don't I look, am I not good enough for you? Why do you need another woman? So being insecure and having low self-esteem has a lot to do with accepting polygyny.
Again, Courtney, I would say communication. It would have to be a relationship where it was open to you to be able to discuss your feelings and be able to discuss what your fears are, and it not being thrown back on you, and you be able to express what how you're feeling and what you're going through, and that will help build you up as well. And you and the other sister, whomever it may be, or whatever position or role that you play in it, y'all would have to be able to have the communication as well as you and that man, and you'd be able to express your wants and your needs to him and also to her, so that y'all can have that fortitude.
Okay, we have literally under 10 minutes left. We've got under 10 minutes left. We've got
It's good until like
10 minutes left. So if you've got any questions, burning questions, please, easy, ask away. And if you don't know, Talk with the Titans is on every single Wednesday weekly. So we're here every single Wednesday weekly. So tune in and get this great information coming through your screens. And for those as well who's tuning in new and don't know about Talk with the Titans, Talk with the Titans was birthed out of the idea that the intellectual giants, the titans of the community should have a well-organized platform to present, discuss, and debate critical information affecting our community. So this is what we're having right now. So if you've got anything that you want to know about and you want our Titans to discuss it, such as things as polygamy, such as things as gay marriages, which has just been introduced into the Americas. You know what? Furthermore, sisters, you know what? There's the gay marriage just entered into the USA. And I don't know if it's legal in all states yet, or if bigamy or polygamy is legal in all states. But how do you feel about gay homosexual marriages being legalized, whereas polygamy is not legalized in America, a Christian country?
I think that America is pushing a certain agenda. Because themselves, they don't practice polygyny, but they do have mistresses, and they have what they would consider side chicks, and they have all of that, and they have yet to accept multiple marriages, but they will accept something that we clearly see as an abomination. They would accept that because they're pushing that agenda. That's what is the happening thing, the hot thing. So that's what they're pushing. They want, if they push homosexuality, then they can stop the reproduction of the black society. If they promote multiple marriages, then that promotes a strong nation. So it's more to it than just gay rights.
Okay.
And that would lessen the scandals. There's so many scandals out there. If polygyny was accepted by everyone, it would be less scandals. There's so many scandals now because people think it's taboo. Oh, I can't tell my wife that I'm not in love with her anymore. Or I can't tell my wife that I'm in love with another woman, or I want to bring another woman into a relationship. So they go and they, quote unquote, cheat behind their back and cause a lot of stir.
So, in your opinion, do you think if polygyny was accepted as an accepted norm in society, cheating wouldn't be an issue amongst men? Would you say?
Yeah, I think it would be less cheating. I think it would be less cheating. I wouldn't say that it would stop because most women still wouldn't accept the fact of a man bringing another woman into their relationship. But I think that it will be less. It will be less cheating.
That's interesting. And you're talking about scandal. I don't know if you're talking about the TV program Scandal with the president and what's that lady called? Does anybody here know?
Olivia Pope.
I knew.
I don't watch it though, but everybody talks about it, so that's the only reason I know.
So what do you think about the scandal, or the so-called scandal, with Umar Johnson? What's your take on that, real quickly?
You know, I think that's just an avenue to get at him because Umar Johnson is a very powerful man. And I think they're just using it as an avenue to get at him. He's not the only person that's been with another woman. They're just using that to bring him down. There's a lot of powerful men out there that they're going to use other women to bring down. I personally think that.
Okay. And you know what? I would like to hear an Islamic take. I want to hear an Islamic take, some Islamic questions. Where does Islam stand in this? Okay. So I'm going to ask my British Islamic correspondent, the supreme wisdom of the Quran speaking, Isa the Great. Assalamu alaikum, Aki. So come on, tell me, what is your take on polygyny?
Oh, Lord.
My perspective on polygyny is that it's something for a people whose mindset is more mature. They're understanding themselves as human beings that have a purpose and a role to play in the collective of their society and culture. So obviously we, as a people that have a proper agenda for liberation, it's clear that these governments, for some reason, will allow homosexual marriages to take place, but somehow want to frown on polygyny. So for me, that's a clear indication that it must be beneficial for us. Do you get what I'm saying? And what the sisters today have been saying, to me, clearly shows that. Do you get me? But what you're saying about Islam, basically, in Islam, it's very clear. Obviously, people know that the Quran says you're allowed up to 4 wives. The Prophet, peace upon him, had more than 1 wife. And generally, in a lot of the Muslim countries, if you go to Sudan and so on, brothers that have been to Sudan, it's supposed to be the norm over there. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think it's absolutely brilliant. One of the things I wanted to ask the sisters, do you think the major thing is being able, like, whereas let's say a sister might be married to a man and she might have issues in the marriage, and speaking to her own blood sister might not be enough? Is one of the things majorly beneficial the fact that you're married to the same person and might have issues to talk about, but because you both know the man, is that also as beneficial? Because let's say a brother's got a sister's married to one man, and she wants to talk about some issues, and the man's just listening and he's responding as a man, logical, etc. is it easy or easier? Does it assist you to have a sister who's married to the same man to talk with those problems?
Yes, I'm not sure if you tuned in the beginning, but that's one of the things that we were discussing. That's definitely one of the benefits of having that sister wife, is because you have that bond where you're able to speak concerning your husband, and not having it either thrown in your face, spread around, or anything negative, or looked upon in a certain way. You had that camaraderie and that fortitude with your sister wife to be able to speak with them concerning anything that you have to deal with.
I was meaning more of if it's true that women need to talk, and sometimes they don't need a response. When they're talking to men, apparently they just need to get it out there, and they don't want to hear the man trying to solve the problem. But okay, what I wanted to know was, because I'm just saying, the men are trying to find a solution. The woman's like, just listen to what I say, you know. What I wanted to know was, do you think, when it comes to the situation that do you think it's liberation, and you can see the vision of the future, like the benefit is what is also assisting you? That's where people, it might be love and so on and so forth. Do you think it's a thing of, because we see a goal that we're looking forward to, that we want to see our children and grandchildren really manifest the Hebrew culture to be the norm, where we've got our own businesses, we've got our own schools? Do you understand what I mean? You're becoming compromised.
I'm sorry, he's going in and out. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, Issa, you're cutting in and out a bit. So could you just round that up real quickly?
Okay. What I was saying was, whereas a lot of other marriages are based upon, let's say, the love for the man, I'm saying in the polygynous marriage, is it, whereas your Hebrews, because you see an agenda that your children, grandchildren, and so on, you want to see a community, you want to be part of the building of that Hebrew nation. It's part of the reason why you would accept polygyny. Is it just, because you think that's a good thing for yourself and your children?
There is love, of course. I'm trying to piece together the question, but there is love between us as well as the nation building, as you spoke of. But yes, there is also love in a relationship, of course, or it's not like something that is, it's not a totally loveless relationship or just a business venture. I couldn't hear the question, but I'm trying to answer according to what I could hear.
Okay, so we're literally reaching the end of the show right now, the live section of the show. But if you do want to get any questions through, and you want to have more dialogue with these sisters, I'm going to open up the link for you to join in and speak with these sisters for another half an hour, an hour or so. But this is going to be off air, okay? It's going to be off air. But if you've enjoyed the show and you've benefited from the show so far and the information that the sisters have been giving and been bestowing upon you, please hit the share button. Hit the share button right now. Go down below. Hit the share button on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, etc. And let everybody know what you actually learned or took away with you today. And if you have got more questions, please ask away in the comment section down below. And if you think a sister would benefit from listening to this video, you want a polygynous relationship, I think this particular video might be the entrance way for the sisters to kind of get a bit of a know-how of how polygynous relationships work. Also, please check out Nasi TV, where the sisters go into more detail about being in a polygynous relationship and also speak about their other ventures as well. So you know what? I'm going to bring it back to the sisters real quickly, and I'm going to ask the sisters if you've got anything to say, any last questions that you want to have answered, or if you want to say anything right now, please speak away and let everybody know.
I have something I'd like to say really quick. I just wanted to say that it's an honor to be on a panel with Ro and Tara. I think I'm saying that right, right? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to thank you because if it wasn't for that YouTube video, I would have never thought about polygamy. I would have never considered it for myself. I haven't done it yet, but it may happen. And I just want to thank you guys for, giving the information and being so open to people, giving people information about it.
Thank you.
Tina.
So, sisters, have you got anything that you would like to tell the audience, or tell sisters who are watching you right now? Everybody, all the sisters are all ears to hear everything that you have to say. So, is there anything that you would like the sisters to take away with them today?
Just know what you want before getting into it. Know what you want. Get your relationship with your husband together first, man and wife. Get that relationship solid before even thinking about adding another woman. Polygyny could be a blast. It could be a blast if it's done properly. Number two, again, I couldn't stress the fact that I am a proud author of this book, The Queen's Sacrifice. And I want you all to go out and get your copy today. It's available on Amazon. I don't know if you can see it. It's available on Amazon, The Queen's Sacrifice. Also, createspace.com /557-3916. That's createspace.com /557-3916. It's a great read. It's definitely has its feminine touch on it. A lot of different stories, different characters. Because if you guys read The Ancient Science of Love, you remember the stories that my husband added to it. Gave it a more of a reality feel to it. So, guys, go out and get your copy. It's a great read. You'll definitely love it. That's it for me.
And if you have any other questions or comments, you can hit us up on Facebook or Instagram. I'm Princess Rofaynuyah. She's born Crown 13. We're more than willing to speak with anyone and help out as much as possible.
Definitely.
Thank you.
And I will be leaving all your contact details in the description box. So if anybody would like to check out these sisters, and please, man them, share these sisters' contact details with sisters. Share these contact details. Even check them out yourselves and speak to Nasi. If you want an insight as being a man in a polygynous relationship, please hit up Nasi Yashuvel as well. And if you are a sister, please hit up these sisters and learn more about this thing that we call polygynous relationship. And if you want to know how to tie your headscarf as well, hit them up. If you want to know how to homeschool your children as well, please hit them up. If you want to know about cheesecake, I might even just take a trip up to Georgia for this cheesecake.
Yes.
Please hit them up.
You make them from scratch. It's 100% vegan. 100% vegan. Make them from scratch. You can hit me up at Heavenly Sweets at yahoo.com. Crowns Heavenly Sweets at yahoo.com. I'm calling it Heavenly Sweets. Crowns Heavenly Sweets at yahoo.com. If you'd like to place your order, if you're in the Georgia, Atlanta area. I haven't yet started to sell outside of the state as yet, but because I haven't tested to see if it would stand the travel time if frozen. But I'm still working on that. But if you're in the Georgia, Atlanta area, I'm in the West End area. If you want to hit me up an email and order you a few pies, I'm at crownsheavenlysweets@yahoo.com. Definitely, you'd love it. You won't be able to tell it's vegan. Trust me.
Wow. Okay, so listen, everybody, I'm going to leave everything down below for you. So we've reached the end of the show. We're going to go offline now, but if you want to speak to these sisters, we're going to open up a link for you. Okay, but we're closing out right now. This has been Talk with the Titans, and I have been your host, Kalam L, and we're signing out. Peace.